Hey, sorry, the phone rang. This is going to be part 2 on that flag colors study. The phrase undercolor is in there one time. Acts 27:30. And the shipmen were about to flee out of the ship when they had let down the boat into the sea. Under color. As though they would have cast anchors out of the foreship. Another word for color, flag, standard, is also the word ensign, E-N sign, and that's also in there quite a bit too. How about banner? That's in there, Psalm 60. Thou hast given a banner to them that fear thee, that it may be displayed because of the truth, Salah. Psalms 25, we will rejoice in thy salvation, and in the name of our God we will set up our banners. Terrible as an army with banners. Flags, SOS 610. I think somewhere it says the banner over me is love. Let me see if I find it on this page. There's a couple here on ensign. Ensign on a hill. 1,000 shall flee at the rebuke of one. At the rebuke of 5 shall ye flee, till ye be left as a beacon upon the top of a mountain, and as an ensign on a hill. Numbers 2:2, every man of the children of Israel shall pitch by his own standard with the ensign of their father's house. Far off about the tabernacle of the congregation shall they pitch. Princes shall be afraid of the ensign. That's Isaiah 31:9. He shall pass over to his stronghold for fear. How about Zechariah 9:16? The Lord their God shall save them in that day as the flock of his people, for they shall be as the stones of a crown, lifted up as an ensign on the land, ensign on the mountains. Isaiah 18:3, all ye inhabitants of the world, dwellers on the earth, see ye when he lifteth up an ensign on the mountains. He shall set up an ensign for the nations. Isaiah 11:12. They shall assemble the outcasts of Israel, gather together the dispersed of Judah from the four corners. He will lift up an ensign to the nations from far. He will hiss unto them from the end of the earth. The enemies roar in the midst of thy congregations. They set up their ensigns for signs. So the enemies have ensigns. Ensigns of the Father's house. That's there. Oh, we go on my website, where science meets religion.blogspot.com. But like I said, the phone rang and I don't know where we're at. Now the tribes, each tribe had their own little flag. I wish I could show it to you, but I don't know how to flip that, so I'm not going to try. But Reuben, it said, is the firstborn. But he won't be the first because he climbed into his father's bed. Simon and Levi are malicious. Simeon and Levi are malicious. Judah's brothers, Judah brothers, praise you. Zebulun, it says, by the seashore. Issachar is a strong donkey, loving forced labor. Dan will govern like a snake. Gad, raiders by raiders. Naphtali, swift hind, lovely fawns. Joseph is a fruitful plant. Benjamin is like a ravening wolf, devouring prey. And Asher produces rich food fit for a king. There's no flag in the Constitution. There is a flag in the code, but that's not the same. There's like the law, and then there's like the policy, you know? Song of Solomon, there it is. His banner over me was love. SOS 2:4. SOS 6:10, who is she that looketh forth as the morning, fair as the moon, clear as the sun, terrible as an army with banners. Isaiah 13:2, lift ye up a banner upon the high mountain, exalt the voice to them, shake the hand, shake somebody's hand, that they may go into the gates of the nobles. For what it's worth, like, the Ku Klux Klan's flag is the Stars and Stripes. I mean, that's what I'm saying. That's what it is. I mean, the rainbow flag is not the flag of the Ku Klux Klan. Let's just say that. Now, flags are in Catholic churches. Now, I don't know why, because sometimes people are saying that these poles, these Asherah poles are flag poles, and we're going to do the study on poles, okay? But you shouldn't worship at an idol or a pole. I don't know. It says, according to the Catholic Church, it's not in the Code of Canon Law. There's no regulations on any kind of governing of the display of flags. So it's like it's not even in the Catholic doctrine or their canon law, nor liturgical books of the Roman Rite. Doesn't say anything about how to display an American flag in the church. So, like, it's probably not supposed to be there, you know, like, I don't know. At least not the American flag, you know what I mean? The message is like, this is not a Christian nation. Sorry, this is the United States. There's freedom of religion here. It's like not a theocracy. It's not a Jewish nation. Your religion is not superior here. Sorry, you know, God is one, not three. We should definitely do that study. Speaking of the flags, you know, in the sea, I might read you this lament. Now, Navy, do you know Navy's in the Bible? 1 Kings 10:11. Navy, the Navy of Hiram brought the gold. But here's a lament over Tyre, which was like a seaport. The word of the Lord came to me, son of man, take up a lament concerning Tyre, Tyre. Say to Tyre, situated at the gateway to the sea, merchant of peoples on many coasts, this is what the sovereign Lord says. You say, Tyre, I am perfect in beauty. Your domain was on the high seas. Also, you know what? Daniel 11:30 talks about the ships. Chittim shall come against him, and he shall be grieved and return and have indignation against the Holy Covenant. Haters. Haters of the first degree haters. 2 ships standing by. That's in there. Luke 5:2. There was 2 ships standing by the lake, but the fishermen were gone out of them and were washing their nets. We will rejoice in thy salvation. In the name of our God, we will set up our banners. The Lord fulfills all thy petitions. Psalms 20-5. In that day there shall be a root of Jesse, which shall stand for an ensign of the people. To it shall the Gentiles seek. And his rest shall be glorious. So, to do a little maybe research on Jesse. Set up an ensign and assemble the outcasts. See if we can just keep going on poll. But we are not on high speed data, so let's see if we can get it. Oh, an important message from the Book of Mormon. He took the pole holding his rent coat, and he called the title of it Liberty. That was Alma 46:14, where in the Book of Mormon, that was on American soil. Okay, pole is only in there twice. And we talked about the one already. Moses made a serpent of brass, put it on a pole. And it came to pass that if the serpent had bitten any man, when he looked at the serpent, when he beheld the serpent of brass, he lived. Does that mean you gotta hold it? Beheld. Moses made a fiery serpent and set it on a pole. And everyone that is bitten, like vampires. It's weird. Bitten. Everybody's bitten. Okay. Okay, Numbers 2, when you read the version called The Message, which is one of my favorite versions, it does say that the people of Israel are to set up camp circling the tent of meeting, which we know to be like the mosque or the sacred sanctuary. They're supposed to face it. Each company is to camp under its distinctive tribal flag. flagpole. That's in there. And that's Moses again, flagpole. We also talk about the Philistines at Galb, where the son of Jar, Jaar, the weaver of Bethlehem. Another battle with the Philistine at Gob, where Elhanan, the son of Jar, the weaver, of Bethlehem, killed Goliath the Gittite with the spear that was as big as a flagpole. Flagrantly is in there, flagrantly evil. That's in there a couple times. How about white flag of truce? That's in there. 1 Kings 20, 29 through 31, reading from the version of the Message. 2 armies were poised in a standoff for 7 days. On the 7th day, fighting broke out, and the Israelites killed 100,000 of the Aramean infantry in 1 day, and the rest of the army ran for their lives back to the city Aphek, Pheka, only to have the city wall fall on 27,000 of the survivors. Ben-Hadad escaped into the city and hid in a closet. And then his advisors told him, "Look, we heard that the kings of Israel play by the rules. Let us dress in old gunny sacks and carry a white flag of truce and present ourselves to the king of Israel, and on the chance that he'll let you live." And that's what they did. They did dress in old gunny sacks and carried a white flag and came to the king of Israel saying, "Your servant Ben-Hadad said, please let us live." And then, it's like a story about his brother. Every cloud is a flag to your faithfulness. Psalms 57, verse 10. Psalm 60-3. You made your people look doom in the face, then gave us cheap wine to down our troubles. Then you planted a flag to rally your people, an unfurled flag to look to for courage. Now, do something quickly. Answer right now, so the one you love best is saved. Okay. And then when you look up pole, you're going to find some stuff in the Old Testament Exodus when they were making poles of wood, but they were using them to carry, they were making like a treasure chest or something, and they were inserting the poles on that. Now there's the Asherah poles I was talking about. That's in Judges 6:28. It says, actually Judges 6. They said to take your father's best 7-year-old animals, the prime one, because he's going to abuse them. Take them, tear down your father's Baal altar, take the animals, tear down his shit, chop down the Asherah fertility pole that's beside it, beside the altar. Next to the altar, some kind of a fertility pole. Is it a flag? In that sentence, Context is everything, okay? But true wisdom has, multiple sides to it. Okay, how about, so tear down your father's fertility pole, Asherah utility pole, and then build an altar to your God on the top of this hill. And then take his animal and present it as a whole burnt offering using the firewood from the pole that you cut down. Early in the morning, the people in town were shocked to find that Baal's altar was torn down and the Asherah poles besides it were chopped down. That's Judges 6. You could read all about that. 1 Kings talks more about the poles, but it was these poles that are in to carry this thing. You know how they carry the box? The ark. They were carrying the ark for a while. Okay, 2 Kings 17-16 talks about phallic pole, Phallic pole. They threw out everything their God had told them. They replaced him with 2 statue gods shaped like bull calves and a phallic pole for the whore goddess Asherah. They worshiped cosmic forces, sky gods and goddesses, and frequented the sex religion shrines of Baal. They sank so low, even to offer their own sons and daughters as a sacrifice. They indulged in black arts of magic and sorcery, and they prostituted themselves to every kind of evil available to them. God had enough. That's 2 Kings 17. Okay, I don't want to talk about it because I was the outcast, and I was a failed sacrifice on my father's altar there. Asherah pole from the temple. He took the obscene phallic Asherah pole from the temple of God to the valley of Kidron and burned it. That's 2 Kings 23, 4-9. Some kind of pole they're ripping out of the churches and burning. Like, just saying. It's also there, 2 Kings 23, 12-15. He tears up the altars, chopped down the phallic Asher poles, and scattered old bones over the sites. He took care of the shrine in Bethel that Jeroboam, the son of Nebat, built. That same Jeroboam who had led Israel into a life of sin. He tore apart the altar, burned down the shrine, leaving it in ashes, and lit fire to the phallic Asherah pole